Welcome back to the Quiet Room. Today's episode begins with a question that almost every listener has felt at some point. One of our audience members wrote, "Why do I keep living the same day over and over again, even when I want to change?" And that's such a powerful question because it captures something invisible that so many of us go through. Leo, what's really happening beneath this loop?
It's a great question, JS, and it gets to the heart of why real change feels so hard. Every morning, most people wake up and immediately return to their past. The first thing they do is start thinking about their problems. And every problem is connected to a memory tied to a person, a place, or an emotion. So the moment you open your eyes, you're not really waking up to the present moment. You're waking up to your mental past. And because every memory carries emotion, your body starts to feel what your brain remembers. That's why, by the time you finish brushing your teeth, you're already living yesterday again. You see, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. If your thoughts and emotions are anchored in the past, your personality stays stuck there too. Sooner or later, your past becomes your predictable future.
So, in a sense, we're not just remembering the past, we're reliving it.
Exactly. When you recall those old emotions, anger, guilt, regret, your brain fires the same circuits, and your body releases the same chemistry as if it were happening now. If you repeat that every day, those emotions stop being a temporary state and start becoming part of your personality. That's why people say things like, "she's always anxious," or "he's just angry by nature." They've simply repeated the same emotional pattern long enough for it to hardwire into who they are. By the time most of us reach our mid-30s, about 95% of what we think, feel, and do every day is automatic. A memorized set of habits, emotional reactions, and beliefs. We live on autopilot. We think we're making choices, but in reality, we're just following a program. Our conscious mind says, "I want to change," but the subconscious, which is way more powerful, whispers, "No, this is who we are. This is safe."
That's fascinating and a little scary. How exactly does that program take over?
It starts with repetition. Every morning, we wake up and repeat the same routine. Check the phone, scroll through the same apps, drink coffee from the same cup, drive the same road, meet the same people, and feel the same emotions. Your brain starts to predict all of it, even your stress. So when something familiar triggers that stress, your body says, there it is. This is home. Even if home is misery, it's still familiar. The brain equates known with safe, even when the known is painful. That's how the body becomes addicted to emotions. It would rather feel the pain it knows than the peace it doesn't understand. And that's why, when you finally try to change, you meditate, you sit still, you do something new, suddenly your mind races. You remember an old memory from 20 years ago, your nose itches, your body wants to stand up. That's not random. That's your body begging you to go back to what's familiar. The body resists because it thinks the unknown equals danger.
So when we try to grow, the body actually panics, not because it's bad, but because it's afraid of its routine.
Exactly. The moment you step into uncertainty, your subconscious program goes on high alert. It's like an old guard barking, "Hey, we've never done this before. Go back." But here's the paradox. The unknown is the only place where real transformation happens. Everything new you've ever created in your life, every growth moment, happened when you stepped outside what was familiar.
So if the body and mind are addicted to the past, how do we break that loop?
We begin by quieting the analytical mind, and the most effective tool for that is meditation. Meditation isn't just about sitting still. It's about changing brainwave states. When you're stressed, your brain operates in high beta. That's the survival mode, full of noise and analysis. When you meditate, you slow that rhythm down into alpha and theta waves. That's when the gate between the conscious and subconscious mind opens. In that state, you can begin to reprogram the software running your life. Now, meditation has two key elements. The first is awareness, noticing your thoughts and emotions without reacting to them. When you do that, you weaken the neural connection between thought and emotion. You literally decouple the trigger from the response. The second element is emotional rehearsal. You start imagining the future you want, not as a fantasy, but as a memory you're creating ahead of time. And here's the secret. Your brain doesn't know the difference between an experience that's real and one you vividly imagine with feeling. If you can close your eyes, visualize the future, and feel gratitude, peace, or love as if it's happening now, you begin to teach your body what that future feels like before it arrives. The more you practice that emotional state, the more familiar it becomes. And once the body feels it, it stops craving the past.
So instead of waiting for life to change so we can feel happy, we learn to feel happy first, and then life changes.
Exactly. That's the reversal of the old model. We've been taught to wait for success to feel successful, to wait for love to feel loved, to wait for peace to feel peaceful. But the new model says, feel it first, and you'll draw it to you. When you generate the emotion before the event, you're no longer a victim of your past. You're a creator of your future.
That's beautiful. But Leo, people often say, I've tried meditation and it doesn't work. Why does that happen?
Because the beginning is uncomfortable. You're literally training a wild animal, your body. The moment you sit down, it says, what are we doing? It's 8 a.m. This is the time we scroll, worry, or get angry. It will throw everything at you, distractions, memories, itches, to make you stop. But that resistance is a sign that the program is being interrupted. Each time you notice the distraction and gently return to your breath, you're strengthening the conscious mind's control. It's not about emptying the mind. It's about showing the body who's in charge, kindly, consistently. Eventually, your body learns to sit, and in that moment of surrender, energy is released. You feel lighter because you've stopped fighting yourself.
So meditation isn't just a spiritual act, it's neurological reprogramming.
Exactly. You're teaching your body to obey your mind again, to become the servant, not the master. When your will becomes stronger than your old habits, you free up enormous energy that was once trapped in emotional survival. That energy becomes creativity, clarity, peace. And this isn't theoretical. You can see changes in brain scans within a week of consistent practice. 7 days of intentional awareness can begin to shift your default state. You start noticing moments when you pause before reacting, when you breathe instead of exploding. Those moments may seem small, but they're huge. They're signs that the new program is taking root.
I love that image. It's like planting a new garden, right?
Exactly. You can't plant flowers on top of weeds. You have to pull out what doesn't serve you, loosen the soil, and create space for something new. That's what meditation does. It prepares the ground. And every time you sit down, you're watering the seeds of your future self.
Another metaphor I love is the loyal dog. Your body is that dog. It's been guarding the old house for years. Now you're inviting it to walk with you to a new home. At first, it resists, but if you're patient, it follows. And once it does, it never wants to go back.
That's so powerful, Leo. So real change begins not with force, but with awareness and repetition.
Yes, you don't need to wake up ready. You'll wake up remembering who you used to be, and that's okay. Sit anyway. Breathe anyway. Take one gentle step anyway. Each time you do, you're teaching your body that peace is safe, that presence is powerful, and that freedom doesn't have to wait for someday.
That's beautiful. So to everyone listening, if you wake up tomorrow and feel yourself falling into the same loop, pause. Take one slow breath and remind yourself that was the old me. Then take one small action that belongs to the new you. Smile, stretch, write a sentence, or simply sit in stillness.
Because that one small conscious moment is how the future begins.
Exactly. Every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you're crossing the river from who you've been to who you're becoming. And one day, you'll realize the old shore is gone.
You've been listening to The Quiet Room with JS and Dr. Leo Hart. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with someone who's ready to begin again. You don't have to wait for your life to change to feel better. You can start feeling better now.